Hello guys, welcome back to another Dye at 5. Today's the day. I am finally going to colour my hair, especially these roots. I'm going to show you today how to colour your roots successfully, even by doing it on your own head. I'm obviously going to be colouring my hair today, so I'm going to be doing it red. Obviously do whatever colour your hair is. Unfortunately, I don't have the colour that I would normally use, but what I do have is a blonde. I found this in Joe's cupboard actually, believe it or not. He'd obviously wanted to go a nice shade of blonde at one point and didn't tell me and bought his own little colour. But it's come in handy because I can use it today. You're probably thinking, Diane, why would you want to go blonde? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-lighten my roots. As you can see, my roots are very, very dark, especially at the back there. You can see that it's not that vibrant red anymore that it used to be. I'm going to teach you mainly the technique today of how to colour your roots. Then I'm going to I'll probably put a treatment in, and I might do a little trim at the end as well. So let's get started. I'm going to mix my colour up, so whatever your colour is that you're using, mix that up. Make sure you read the labels as to how much you need to put. And I am also going to add into my colour, which you can do this with any colour, I'm going to add a little bit of my Olaplex, which is really, really good for your hair. And when you're doing an on-scalp colour, you put 1.88 mils into your colour as well. I'm using a bowl and a brush. That is the best way, honestly, to do it. I know a lot of the colours actually come with little bottles like this, but I am still going to use a brush and bowl. Make sure you put your gloves on, otherwise you'll end up with, in my case, red hands. Now, before we even grab the colour, what I want you to do is section your hair into 4 parts. So you want to take a section all the way down the middle, so you now have 2 parts. Then you want to take another 2 sections down by the ear and back, so you're kind of doing pigtails at the front and pigtails at the back. And just tie up your back 2 sections for now, because we're not going to be needing them, so they are out the way. So now all you've got to do is work on these front sections. Now once your colour's mixed up, start right here at the front, and I paint on my very first part of the roots. Alright, I'm going to take a little section straight across like so. It has to be thin enough so you can still see a little bit of the colour squeeze through as you turn it. Now when you turn, you just add your colour to that root on each side of that section, and then you take another small slither, flip it, and do the same thing. You're continuing all the way down the head. Really get those little finer pieces around the hairline. If you tie your hair up, that is the first thing you're going to see, so you don't want to miss any little parts in there. Now what you want to do, so your hair can breathe, flick it all back to your natural parting, and that is 1 section of your hair done, all the roots. Now we go on to the other side. So exactly the same process. Take small slithers, paint on both sides, making sure you get all of those roots, each little section. Okay, 2 sections are now done. With these 2 bits now, you can actually twist them up and pop a clip on them, because they are done. All you got to do is now work on that back section. It's really helpful to have a mirror at the back of you, because you can kind of see what is going on. Now what you want to do is hold all that hair down and paint in that little in-between section. And now you want to split down the middle and do that section in there. And now all we're doing is, again, taking small slithers from the very top and doing the exact same process as what we did on the sides. Small slither on each part of that hair, small slither across, and continue it on all the way to the bottom of the hair. Now that side's done, and then we go on to our final section doing the exact same thing. Okay, so now we've done all 4 sides. Now I'm going to leave that for half an hour to process. We are back. The roots are lighter. Now when I go to put my red over the top, it's going to have the most vibrancy. Again, I don't have my colors that I would normally use. So today I'm going to be using Live Ultra Bright Red, and this is a semi-permanent color. So I'm going to pop that again, popping it into a bowl. For this one, I'm going to pop on my cape because this can get a little messy. The red scares me, it gets absolutely everywhere. So I'm going to pop my cape on, look like I'm about to play Harry Potter or something. And I'm going to pop my gloves on. Also with this, I'm going to add in, again, my 1.88 mils of Olaplex. Exactly the same process, going over the pieces I've lightened in the exact same way as before. So we've taken out the darkness, now we're adding in the brightness. This is the fun part. So once all your roots are done, you can now just give it a good old massage in to make sure that you've got all the bits. And the next stage will be taking it through all the way to the ends. Oh, I should take off my earrings, shouldn't I? They're getting red on them. Rookie mistake. Go there off. So for my ends, I have mixed up the exact same color. I just needed a new bottle. Now with these live colors, you don't need to mix any peroxide with them because they're semi-permanent. So the only thing I mix with it is the Olaplex. That is it. Now basically, we're gonna do the same technique again. You wanna start with these front sections. You're just wanting to paint all the way down this time and really work that color in. So you're doing little sections each time. Once it's done, place it over, take your next section, color it through to the mid-lengths and ends. My hair at the moment is so porous and dry that I really need to work it through, otherwise it's just gonna sit on the very tip of the hair and not actually go in and do what I want it to. So really got to work it in. We've done one side of the hair, move over to the other side, and the exact same process. We get to the back, again, taking sections. It has been a while since I have done this. Okay, now once you have done all of it, grab it all and really work it in. Make sure that all the hair has color over it. Now, I'm going to leave that also for anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes because it is a semi-permanent. It doesn't need as long. I'll rinse it out, we'll come back and we'll do a little trim. Okay, and we are back. So I now have my bright red hair yet again. I'm now going to give this a little trim. I am desperately trying to grow these bits out as long as this. So it is going to literally be a very slight trim just to tidy the ends up. We are going to start with taking that section again, splitting your hair in half as if you were going to do pigtails. So we have the same amount on each side. Now I am just going to come straight down here, and because my hair is quite fine, I'm just going to literally take off the very ends there, as I don't want too much off these sections. Just ever so slightly tidying that up. It's more for me about my layers rather than the length. Once I've done that, I'm now going to section from crown to my ear, like so, and pin that away. And same on the other side, crown to ear, take that away, pin it back with that section. So I'm left with just this front section, which I am desperately trying to grow. So I'm just going to trim this ever so slightly by taking one section at the crown. I'm going to pull it all the way up, bend down so you can see, all the way up until I get to those very, very, very fine tips at the end. And I just want to take that tiny little feathery section off. Now that is going to be my guide. I'm now going to take a section on the side like so. I'm going to bring that up, and you can see where my line was, and you can see there's only that tiny little bit to cut there. I'm going to do that the whole way down. And you can see there, I've only got that much to cut. Pulling it up, finding my guideline, and then trimming it away. Won't be much at all on this top section because I really am just doing the very, very, very ends here. Same on the other side. Section from the side, pulling it up, finding the guide, trimming those fuzzy little ends off. Doing that all the way to the front. Now, back section, I'm going to do a very similar little thing where I take one section at the crown. We want to take it all the way up, and we want to take off that fuzzy end. Then you want to grab your next section in the middle there like so, taking that all the way up, finding that guideline and just trimming off the very end. You do that then on the sides of the back as well, taking it up, seeing that, taking that off and following it through all the way up, and just taking off that little corner. Just tidies those wispy ends up. And then we've just got one more side to do, this little bad boy. Take it up, find your guide, get those wispy bits gone, and repeat that again. There's my guide, and that's the part that needs to come off. So that is looking not too bad at the back there. Even at the front, those bits on the side, we're going to try and grow out, so we've just taken the very bare minimal. And that's basically all we're going to do today. It's amazing though how much the tiniest bit can make a difference. But if you don't get the wispy bits off, what happens is it keeps on splitting up and up and up the hair. So you end up thinking that it's going to grow, but in actual fact, it doesn't. Okay, and there we have it. A little tiny trim up. The only other thing you can go over and do is you can go along the hair, put it over your finger like so, and cut off all those little bits, which are your little fine broken ends. So be super careful when doing this because you don't want to actually cut the hair, but doing that just takes off some split ends that you can't get. It's a really nice technique if you don't actually want to give yourself a full-on haircut, but you want to get rid of those fluffy little ends that come there. Finally, I have my red hair back. I didn't use what I would normally use when colouring my hair because I didn't have it, but we made do with first lightening it with L'Oreal Paris 9.1 Viking Light Ash Blonde. I put that onto my roots for 30 minutes. That lightened the roots, and then I went over it with my Live bright red semi-permanent colour on the roots and onto the ends. And then that was it. We also used today Olaplex treatment in the hair as well. and then we gave it a little trim. Right, I am now going to, we might use the straightener on it actually, and give it a little style, and then that is done. So there you have it. I've given my hair a little straighten. I've put a little bit of a wriggle in there just so it's not too straight. It's got a little bit of texture in there. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section about hair cutting, about colouring, about anything to do with hair really, and I will try to do my best to get back to you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again very soon for another Die at 5. Mwah! See you later, guys.